All right, Miles, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. Look, this is a team as talented as any team in the NFL. The only question involving Miami and how good they could potentially be in 2023, of course, involves our quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. This is a guy who, when he's healthy, is fantastic, but his health is the biggest concern for this team going forward, obviously. But we've got a couple really great reports that kind of highlight exactly where Tua is in terms of his health, but not just from Tua himself in this position he's in. We got reports from key teammates as well that I think would be great evidence that Tua is in a strong position as we get ready for training camp.
Yeah, Nick, I think this story that you dug up is really great, and the Dolphins fans especially are going to love, the nuance to all of the factors involved. But Dolphins fans, I want to know, as training camp is right around the corner, there are some key positional group battles going on, whether it's for the backup positions, whether it's for niche positions on the team. There's a lot that goes into training camp and a lot that we can learn. So I want to know in the comment section below, as the fan of the Miami Dolphins, what positional group battle are you going to be watching in training camp? Let us know in the comments below. We're really interested to hear what you got to say. But Nick, let's get on into it. What is going on with Tua?
Yeah, Miles, on this show, for those of you who aren't aware, we like to look for what we call corroborating evidence to support any projection in terms of where a player or, frankly, where a team is going. And what we mean by that is we're not looking just for one source, one story. We're looking for multiple sources, different vantage points that kind of can create a clear picture to give us a good understanding where a team is and where a player is. And this is specifically involving Tua, the most important piece for the Miami Dolphins, and frankly, maybe the entire AFC East. And this first report, the first half of two reports here, is involving his big teammate, his star teammate, wide receiver Tyreek Hill. This is from the Fin Fanatic. Miles, if you want to go ahead and throw it up. All right, directly from the report, Tyreek Hill joined the Miami Dolphins in 2022, and as the season got closer to starting, Hill couldn't stop raving about his quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. In fact, he publicly made claims that Tua was better than Patrick Mahomes in accuracy. Tyreek Hill turned out to be right in that respect. All the data supported Tyreek Hill's claim. Hill had a spectacular season for the Dolphins in 2022, but he fell short of the NFL record in receiving yards and didn't hit 2K. But you have to wonder loudly if he would have hit those numbers had Tua stayed healthy all season long. This year, Hill is expecting it because he believes that 2,000 yards is where he will land this year, and he thinks the Dolphins are taking the Super Bowl as well. All right, Maya. So here's one of the things about Tyreek Hill. Like everyone says, look, he's a loud guy, he's a confident guy. He says what's on his mind. But the reality is Tyreek Hill is often correct. He called out Tua being more accurate than Patrick Mahomes last offseason. A lot of people kind of laughed. Well, now we can look at 2022 and say, yeah, the data supports the fact that Tua was more accurate than Patrick Mahomes. In fact, Warren Sharp did some great analysis and said that on deep passes, Tua is 7 percentage points. That's a huge gap, more accurate than Patrick Mahomes based on last year's data. So again, Tyreek Hill turned out to be right. And Tyreek Hill would not come out and say this and say, I'm going to hit 2,000 yards and we're going to win the Super Bowl unless he thought Tua was in great shape to not be hurt for the 2023 campaign. And the reason he probably thinks that, as well a lot of Dolphins fans should, leads directly into our second report from SI.com. Miles, if you want to go ahead and throw it up. All right, from this report, Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa was practicing with his teammates this week, and one thing instantly stood out. He looked a lot different physically. The former Alabama star, who entered concussion protocol 3 times last season and missed the team's final 3 games of the year, has apparently bulked up during the offseason and looks to be a lot stronger. He's also sporting a different helmet to prevent any more head injuries. So again, Tyreek Hill seeing Tua, he looks bulked, he looks jacked. He's like, this guy's going to play all 17 games. I'm going to get 2,000 yards receiving, and we're going to win a Super Bowl. That's what Tyreek Hill is saying, and that's what I like to see in terms of corroborating evidence. It's not just that Tua looks bulked up, it's that his teammates look at him and say, yeah, this guy's ready to play all 17 games. All right, Miles, let me throw it over to you now. What do you think of these stories and just everything with Tua and the Dolphins right now?
Yeah, Nick, first of all, you can see here, Tua clearly is bulked up. He looks substantially bigger in, the back-to-back pictures here. It just is a very clear difference. And, I love what Tyreek Hill is saying because I don't think he's far off either. Like we said, he loves to talk, but usually he's pretty right. Saying, okay, I want to hit 2,000 yards. Everyone's like, that's a crazy number. Well, it's not that crazy if you look at the numbers. I mean, Tua missed a good amount of last season, and in those games that he was out, Tyreek Hill had very low receiving numbers, like week 18, 23 yards. Week 17, he only had 55 yards. You go back up to the Jets game when Tua got knocked out, the Cincinnati game before that, he only had 47 yards. Those were very low totals for Tyreek Hill. And if he would have gotten maybe just 50, 60 more yards every sprinkled so out that season, he easily would have gotten 2,000 yards because he almost had 1,800 yards with Tua missing a significant amount of this season last season. So I really like what he's saying. I think it's like really promising as a Dolphins fan to say, hey, I know a guy, Tyreek Hill, who works out with Tua day in, day out. He sees him, he feels confident. And last year, Tyreek Hill, he talked, but he spoke the truth. As we said, he was more accurate than Patrick Mahomes. This year, he feels Tua's health is not in question anymore. He feels very confident about hitting that 2,000-yard mark. He feels very confident going far in the playoffs because we all know they made it to the wild card round last year. Tua was not available to play, so not a game that they can win. And he thinks, well, if we did have Tua, if we do go into that game with our star quarterback, we're going to win, and we could have gone far. They could have gone all the way to the Super Bowl and won it. So I really like what Tyreek Hill has to say. I think it's exciting for Dolphins fans, and I like that there's a lot of evidence to back this up.